Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are back with another video of international relations, and today we are going to discuss the democratic peace thesis. This is one of the core cornerstones of liberal school of thought. We will look into the definition of this concept, the core assumptions upon which this concept is based, and lastly we will see a brief rebuttal or criticism of this theory. Coming towards the definition, what is democratic peace thesis? It's simply the notion which holds that there exists an inalienable link between peace and democracy. In other words, we can say that democratic states do not go to war with one another, and this is the democratic peace thesis in the simplest words. This theory is based on four core assumptions. These assumptions include zones of peace, public opinion, non violent conflict resolution, and cultural bonds. Briefly describing it here, that when democracy spreads, the proponents of democratic peace thesis believe that zones of peace emerge. These are zones of peace where democracy exists. Within democratic setup, it is not the authoritative government regime that takes all major decisions. Instead, they seek opinion from the citizens or from the population. And as the citizens are the direct victims of war in case of aggression and conflict, therefore they do not tend to choose a war. Instead, they appreciate conciliation, they appreciate non-violent conflict resolution, and as a result of this, deeper cultural bonds are developed, which ensure peace and minimize the tendencies for war and aggression. So now let's look into details of these four assumptions one by one. Coming towards zone of peace, as democracy has spread, zones of peace have emerged in across the world, and within these zones of peace, military conflict has become virtually unthinkable. They give example of North America since 1917, West Africa since 1957, and South America from the time period of 1883 to 1932 and since 1942. This hypothesis advocates that democracies do not fight with each other, since they are conservative powers. And now let's look into the fact that what is conservative power. Conservative power is such a power which is satisfied with status quo, and they do not tend to change the order of the world. For instance, if it's unipolar, they go with it. If it's multipolar or if it's bipolar, they will remain conservative. They will not tend to change the world order by dint of their military power, economic power, or any other aggressive tendency. Now let's come towards the public opinion. Liberals argue that wars are caused by governments and not by the people, and citizens who are likely to be the victims will have no stomach for war. This means that in case of war, it's not the government authorities who are directly vulnerable, because their security is comparatively higher. Instead, it is the civilian population who receives the real brunt. So being vulnerable, directly vulnerable, and being the direct target of the enemy, they are the one who are going to experience the most loss. In wake of these affairs, they tend to choose conflict resolution instead of confrontation, because public opinion shapes the opinion of government, policies of government in democratic setup. That is why public opinion matters a lot within this thesis. In the event of international conflict, democracies will seek accommodation rather than confrontation and use force only as a last resort, and then only for the purpose of self defense. So, this was our core assumption of public opinion. Coming towards non-violent conflict resolution, the real impetus behind this non-violent conflict resolution comes through the public opinion, which seeks accommodation instead of confrontation, and that arises particularly due to needs of the public, because they are the direct victim in case of war, and they do not prefer war. Instead, they prefer compromise, conciliation, and other peaceful ways of resolution. The essence of democratic governance is a process of compromise, conciliation, and negotiation through which rival interest groups find a way of living together rather than resorting to force and use of naked power. So, this was about the third core assumption of democratic peace thesis. The last one is that of cultural bonds. Cultural style develop amongst democracies because democratic rule tends to foster particular norms and values. For example, the freedom of speech is universal to all democracies. Likewise, prevalence of constitutional governments is universal to all democracies. Guarantees for property and ownership, all these values tend to form a homogeneous culture, which leads toward uh, deepening the cultural bonds between different countries. And this is how the democracies do not tend to use force, but they only resort to it for self defense and not for aggression in the first place. This thesis is pretty much well aligned with the liberal school of thought, but several international critics, scholars have criticized it for two core reasons. The first reason is that the idea that democracies are inherently peaceful is undermined by the continual evidence of wars between democratic and authoritarian states. This thesis says that democracies do not go at war with each other, but it does not say that a democracy will not wage war over an authoritarian regime, and it have been seen throughout the history. For example, U.S. invasion of Iraq, for the sake of toppling a authoritarian regime, for any cause, be it abuse of power, it was a naked show of power. The second rebuttal that has been put forth by the critics is that factors uh, that make war possible, or that stimulate the happening of war, apply to democratic and authoritarian states alike. It means that all those stimuli which initiate the war still exist. That is why the war is still thinkable, and it exists even in modern world order. So that was the brief overview of democratic peace thesis. If you have liked the video, please like, comment, and share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more videos. Thank you.